The taiga, also known as the Boreal Forest, is the largest land biome on Earth. It stretches across North America, Europe and Asia, covering parts of Canada, Russia, Alaska and Scandinavia. This vast forest plays a crucial role in Earth's climate and ecosystem. The taiga is found in the northern regions of the world, just below the Arctic. It has a cold and harsh climate with long freezing winters lasting up to 6 to 8 months, where temperatures can drop to -40 degrees Celsius or -40 degrees Fahrenheit. Short, cool summers last only 3 to 5 months, with temperatures reaching around 20 degrees Celsius or 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Snowfall is common and the soil remains frozen most of the year. Despite its extreme conditions, the taiga is home to many unique plants and animals that have adapted to survive. The taiga is mostly covered by coniferous forests or evergreens which have needle-like leaves and produce cones. The most common trees include spruce, such as black spruce and white spruce, pine like Scots pine and lodgepole pine, fir including balsam fir and Siberian fir, and larch, such as tamarack larch and Siberian larch. These trees are adapted to the cold by having thick bark, waxy needles and flexible branches to withstand heavy snow. Despite the cold climate, many animals thrive in the taiga, such as mammals like moose, wolves, bears, lynxes and reindeer. Birds, including owls, woodpeckers and migratory birds that arrive in summer. Insects like mosquitoes and other insects become abundant in the short summer. Animals in the taiga have special adaptations like thick fur, hibernation or seasonal migration to survive extreme winters. The taiga is one of the most important ecosystems on Earth because it absorbs huge amounts of carbon dioxide, helping fight climate change. It provides oxygen through photosynthesis. It supports biodiversity, providing a home for many species. It has economic value, as its trees are used for timber, paper and other products. The taiga is facing serious threats, including deforestation. Logging and industrial activities destroy forests. Climate change is another threat, as rising temperatures lead to more wildfires, insect outbreaks and permafrost melting. Poaching and habitat loss also endanger many animals due to human activities. Conservation efforts are needed to protect this fragile ecosystem and maintain its role in Earth's climate balance. The taiga is a vital biome covering vast areas of the planet and playing a crucial role in global ecology. Despite its harsh conditions, it supports a unique variety of life and helps regulate the Earth's climate. However, human activities and climate change threaten this important forest, making its protection more important than ever. The taiga, also known as the Boreal Forest, is the world's largest land biome, covering vast areas of North America, Europe and Asia. Unlike tropical rainforests, the taiga has a cold climate and experiences long winters and short summers. Found in the Northern Hemisphere between 50 and 70 degrees latitude, spans Canada, Alaska, Scandinavia, Norway, Sweden, Finland and Russia, especially Siberia. Borders the tundra to the north and temperate forests to the south. Cold winters temperatures can drop as low as -40 degrees Celsius or -40 degrees Fahrenheit. Mild summers last only 2 to 4 months, with temperatures up to 20 degrees Celsius or 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Low precipitation, around 30 to 85 centimeters or 12 to 33 inches annually, mostly in the form of snow. High humidity due to slow evaporation and snow cover. Permafrost in some areas. Parts of Siberia and Canada have frozen ground year-round. Despite its harsh climate, the taiga supports diverse wildlife, including bears, wolves, moose, lynx and migratory birds, as well as vast coniferous forests, pine, spruce and fir. The taiga, or Boreal Forest, is a vast cold forest biome found in the northern regions of North America, Europe and Asia. It is dominated by coniferous trees, which are specially adapted to survive extreme winters, short summers and nutrient-poor soils. The trees in the taiga are mostly evergreens, meaning they keep their leaves or needles throughout the year. Some common species include spruce trees, such as black spruce and white spruce. These are tall, narrow trees with needle-like leaves that help reduce water loss. Their flexible branches prevent breaking under heavy snow. Black spruce is especially hardy and can survive in frozen soils. Pine trees like Scots pine and lodgepole pine, these trees have long, thin needles and grow well in poor, sandy soils. They produce cones that release seeds after a wildfire, helping forests regenerate. Scots pine is one of the few taiga trees found in both Europe and Asia. Fir trees, including balsam fir and Siberian fir, they have soft, flat needles that stay green all year. Their cones grow upright, unlike pines and spruces. Balsam fir is often used for Christmas trees. Larch trees such as tamarack larch and Siberian larch. These are one of the few deciduous conifers, meaning they shed their needles in winter. They can tolerate very cold temperatures and frozen soils. Siberian larch is common in Russia and is highly resistant to cold. Taiga trees have evolved special features to survive the harsh climate. Needle-like leaves reduce water loss and prevent snow buildup. A waxy coating on needles protects against freezing temperatures. Their dark green color absorbs more sunlight for photosynthesis in low light. Flexible branches prevent breaking under the weight of snow. Shallow root systems help trees absorb nutrients from the thin, frozen soil. Cone production protects seeds from cold and allows reproduction even in tough conditions. The taiga is one of the world's largest carbon sinks, absorbing huge amounts of carbon dioxide. Trees release oxygen, helping regulate the Earth's atmosphere, provides food and shelter for animals like moose, bears, lynxes, and birds. Many species, like squirrels, rely on tree seeds for food. Taiga forests are important for timber and paper industries. Wood is used for construction, furniture, and fuel. Despite their resilience, taiga forests face serious challenges. Logging for wood and paper products reduces tree populations. Rising temperatures cause more wildfires, pest outbreaks, and tree diseases. Permafrost melting leads to unstable soil, making it harder for trees to grow. Taiga trees are uniquely adapted to one of the harshest environments on Earth. They play a critical role in maintaining the planet's climate and biodiversity. However, human activities and climate change threaten these forests, making conservation efforts more important than ever. It looks like you meant reptiles instead of replies. Here's a detailed breakdown of all animals, birds, and reptiles in the taiga or boreal forest. Many taiga mammals have thick fur, large bodies, and fat reserves to survive cold winters. Carnivores or predators include the Siberian taiga, which is the largest wild cat and is found in the Russian taiga. The brown bear hibernates in winter and eats fish, berries, and small animals. The black bear is omnivorous and found in North America. The grey wolf lives in packs and hunts deer, moose, and hares. The lynx is a stealthy fur-covered cat that preys on hares and birds. Lastly, the wolverine is a strong scavenger that hunts small mammals. Herbivores or plant eaters include the moose, also known as elk in Europe, which is the largest deer species and feeds on plants and shrubs. The reindeer, or caribou in North America, travels in large herds and eats lichen. The elk, found in North America, grazes on grass and shrubs. The snowshoe hare changes its fur color from brown in summer to white in winter. The beaver builds dams and has sharp teeth for cutting trees. Lastly, the porcupine has sharp quills for defense. Many taiga birds migrate south in winter while some stay year-round. Raptors, or birds of prey, include the great grey owl, which hunts small rodents and is one of the largest owls. The snowy owl, which breeds in the Arctic, hunts hares in the taiga. The bald eagle, found in North America, feeds on fish and small mammals. Other birds include the common raven, a highly intelligent scavenger and predator. The black-backed woodpecker eats insects under tree bark. Chickadees and jays are small birds that store food for winter. The ptarmigan is a grouse species that turns white in winter for camouflage. Because the taiga is cold, only a few reptiles and amphibians can survive here. Among the reptiles, the common European adder is a venomous snake that hibernates in winter. There are few lizard species, such as the viviparous lizard, which gives birth to live young instead of laying eggs. Amphibians include the wood frog, which can survive freezing temperatures by freezing its body in winter. The Siberian salamander can survive extreme cold due to natural antifreeze in its blood. Wildlife in the taiga have some fascinating adaptations. Thick fur or feathers help retain body heat in animals like wolves, lynx and owls. Seasonal color change is another adaptation. For example, snowshoe hares and ptarmigans turn white for camouflage in winter. Hibernation is common among bears and some frogs to survive the cold months. Fat storage is crucial for animals like moose and bears, who eat a lot in summer to store fat for winter. Migration is another strategy, with birds like the bald eagle flying south to warmer areas in winter. The taiga is a harsh but thriving ecosystem, supporting predators, herbivores and resilient, cold-adapted reptiles in its dense forests and icy rivers. The taiga is a forest biome found in cold northern regions like parts of Canada, Russia and Alaska. It's made up of vast stretches of coniferous trees such as pines, spruces and firs, and experiences long, harsh winters and short, cool summers. Despite being known for its cold, the taiga does have a significant amount of life, and its rivers and fisheries play an important role in its ecosystem. While the taiga is not typically called a rainforest, it does receive a fair amount of precipitation. The main difference is that tropical rainforests are hot and receive heavy rain throughout the year, while the taiga experiences a cold climate with rainfall mostly during the summer months. Much of the precipitation falls as snow during the winter, and during the summer months it falls as rain. On average, the taiga receives between 12 to 33 inches of rain, or snow equivalent, per year, which is less than tropical rainforests, but still supports a range of life. The cold temperatures slow down evaporation, which helps preserve moisture in the soil. The rivers in the taiga are crucial to its ecosystem. These rivers are often cold and fast-flowing, fed by snowmelt and rainwater. Many of these rivers originate from mountain ranges and glaciers and flow into larger rivers or seas. Taiga rivers have cold, clear water, which is low in nutrients compared to warmer river systems found in tropical or temperate zones. Rivers in the taiga experience different water levels throughout the year. During the spring, melting snow increases the flow of rivers, while in winter these rivers may freeze over, limiting water movement. The taiga's rivers and lakes are home to several fish species, though the fisheries here are not as abundant as in warmer climates. The cold water supports specific species that are adapted to the cold environment. Fish like salmon, trout and pike are found in the taiga rivers. Salmon are particularly notable because they migrate long distances from the ocean to spawn in the freshwater rivers of the taiga. During their migration, they face cold waters and must navigate through fast-moving rivers, which makes their journey a challenging one. Fishing is common in the taiga, both for subsistence to feed local populations and commercially. Salmon, in particular, are an important species for both local communities and the economy. However, commercial fishing in the taiga is limited to specific areas where rivers are rich in fish. Overfishing, pollution, or changes in water temperature can hurt fish populations. These changes not only affect the local fish, but can also disturb the animals that depend on them, like bears and birds of prey. Proper management is needed to keep fish populations stable and ensure that the ecosystem remains balanced. The taiga is a cold forest biome, with coniferous trees, cold rivers and sparse rainfall. The rivers are vital for carrying water, nutrients, and supporting fish populations. The fisheries in the taiga are not as plentiful as in warmer climates, but are still essential for local communities, providing fish like salmon and pike. The balance of these ecosystems depends on the careful management of the river's health and fish populations. The taiga, also known as the Boreal Forest, plays a critical role in the global ecosystem and offers numerous environmental, ecological and economic benefits. Here are some key reasons why the taiga is so important. Carbon sink. The taiga stores massive amounts of carbon in its trees, soil and wetlands, helping to mitigate climate change. It absorbs carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and locks it in the form of organic matter, regulates global temperature. The Boreal Forest acts as a temperature regulator by influencing atmospheric circulation and rainfall patterns globally. A home to unique wildlife, the taiga supports a wide variety of animals, birds, insects and some reptiles that are uniquely adapted to cold climates. Many species like the Siberian tiger, lynx and moose rely on the taiga for survival. The taiga is also an important migration stop for many bird species such as snowy owls and migratory waterfowl, providing them with food and shelter. Additionally, the forest contains various plants with medicinal properties, many of which are used in traditional medicine and modern pharmaceuticals. The taiga's dense forests, wetlands and peat bogs help filter water, improving water quality for surrounding areas. The wetlands in the taiga store water, preventing floods and maintaining steady water flow to nearby rivers, lakes and coastal areas. The slow decomposition of pine, spruce and fir trees leads to the creation of rich organic soils in the taiga. These soils support plant growth, especially mosses, ferns and lichen. The roots of the taiga's trees stabilize the soil, reducing the risk of erosion from wind and water. The taiga provides valuable timber, especially pine, spruce and fir trees, which are used for construction, paper production and other wood products. The taiga's rich biodiversity attracts tourists for wildlife viewing and ecotourism, boosting local economies. Rivers and lakes in the taiga support fish populations, providing food and livelihood for local communities. Many indigenous peoples live in or near the taiga, relying on its resources for food, shelter and medicinal plants. Their cultures and traditions are closely tied to the forest. For various indigenous groups, the taiga is seen as a sacred place, with natural elements often representing spiritual symbols. The taiga, one of the world's largest biomes, faces numerous threats that could lead to its decline. From climate change to deforestation and pollution, each of these factors poses a significant risk to this crucial ecosystem. Climate change, with its warming temperatures, threatens to shrink the taiga, alter species distributions, and affect its ability to absorb carbon. This could have profound impacts on the global climate system. Deforestation driven by logging and industrial development can severely damage the taiga ecosystem. This leads to a loss of biodiversity and reduces the area's capacity to store carbon, exacerbating climate change. Pollution, including contaminants like acid rain and toxic chemicals, harms plant and animal life in the taiga. This further stresses an already vulnerable ecosystem, making it harder for the taiga to recover and thrive. The taiga is an essential part of the Earth's environmental systems, providing carbon storage, supporting biodiversity, regulating water cycles, and offering valuable resources. Protecting the taiga is critical to addressing global climate change, preserving its unique wildlife, and sustaining ecosystem services for future generations. The taiga rainforest, or boreal forest, faces several threats that impact its health, biodiversity, and ability to regulate the climate. Here are the major threats. 1. Climate change. Rising temperatures. Global warming leads to longer, hotter summers and warmer winters, which disrupts the taiga's seasonal cycles. Permafrost. Thawing. In many regions, the permafrost, or permanently frozen ground, is beginning to thaw. This releases stored carbon into the atmosphere, contributing to further climate change. Species shift. As the climate warms, species that are adapted to cold conditions may struggle to survive, while southern species might invade, leading to changes in biodiversity. Deforestation and logging, industrial logging. The taiga's valuable timber, such as pine, spruce and fir trees, is heavily exploited for paper, construction materials and fuel. Habitat loss. Logging and forest clearing disrupt the natural habitats of many species, forcing them to move or face extinction. Fragmentation. Clearing forests for development or roads causes the fragmentation of the ecosystem, making it harder for wildlife to find food, mates, and shelter. Mining and oil extraction. Resource extraction. The extraction of minerals, oil, and natural gas in the taiga leads to deforestation, soil degradation, and water pollution. Mining activities can release toxic chemicals into the environment, damaging local ecosystems and harming wildlife. Infrastructure, roads, and pipelines for mining and oil extraction can fragment habitats, disrupt migration routes, and increase the risk of oil spills and contamination. Pollution. Acid rain industrial emissions from factories and vehicles release sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides into the atmosphere, which combine with water vapor to form acid rain. This can damage plants, soil, and aquatic systems, harming the taiga's ecosystems. Chemical pollution, the release of pesticides, fertilizers, and heavy metals from industrial or agricultural activities can pollute the soil and water in the taiga, affecting wildlife and plant life. Plastic pollution. Like many ecosystems, the taiga faces the threat of plastic waste, which harms animals and pollutes waterways. Overhunting and overfishing. Overhunting of species like wolves, lynx, and bears can disrupt the balance of predator-prey relationships. Fishing, on the other hand, overfishing in taiga lakes and rivers can reduce fish populations and harm the animals that depend on them for food. Loss of biodiversity. The overexploitation of wildlife reduces genetic diversity, making it harder for species to adapt to environmental changes. Invasive species. Invasive plants and animals. Non-native species brought in by human activity, such as invasive plants, pests, and diseases, can outcompete native species, reducing biodiversity and disrupting the ecosystem. Invasive diseases such as fungal infections or parasites can affect native plants and animals, weakening their populations. Forest fires, natural and human-caused fires. Wildfires, while a natural part of some ecosystems, are becoming more frequent and intense due to climate change and human activities like agriculture or logging. Loss of habitat. Intense fires can destroy large areas of the taiga, threatening the survival of plant and animal species. The taiga rainforest is facing a combination of climate change, resource exploitation, and pollution that threaten its biodiversity and ecological functions. Protecting this vital ecosystem requires global efforts to mitigate climate change, enforce sustainable logging and resource extraction practices, and prevent pollution. Conserving the taiga is essential for maintaining its role as a carbon sink, biodiversity hotspot, and climate regulator. Add, like, and subscribe and share.